a delivery assignment, a deadly weapon to be transported between two rival gangs in the middle of a firefight. He zooms through the city on his beloved bike, flying over rooftops scheduled for execution today. The reward? 1 billion. His combat obsession forces him to accept without hesitation. In another corner, a hacker boy is seriously hacking through the central bank's firewall, dubbed unhackable by the world. He takes control effortlessly. Suddenly, a stranger's message pops up on his system, the same rescue mission. The most shocking part? The stranger had hacked his address. Instantly intrigued, he joins them. Everyone is helpless until a stunning, seductive woman steps forward. This woman is a sadistic doctor, nicknamed the Mad Doctor, with a 432-year sentence. She performs against crime. The four criminals reach the police HQ, preparing for a massive jailbreak, but innocent Xiaomei gets caught in the crossfire. Falsely charged with coin fraud, she's taken into temporary custody. As Xiaomei is the Destruction King, diverting the police's attention, allowing the other criminals to infiltrate the building. The hacker takes over the control room, disabling security systems. The chief officer, realizing the situation, fast-forwards the execution process. Meanwhile, they start fighting among themselves. Xiaomei accidentally stumbles into their midst. She was trying to save a black cat. The four criminals, mistaking her for an outsider, prepare to eliminate her. But Xiaomei cleverly recalls her false fraud charges and points out her name isn't on the criminal list. Her quick thinking saves her. The criminals, impressed, start believing she's a mastermind like them. And just like that, an ordinary girl accidentally becomes part of the biggest criminal gang, into the underground jail. Prisoners escape in the chaos. A small-time criminal, sentenced to just 4 years, hears about the billion-dollar reward and joins the mission. At the execution ground, the countdown begins. Just as the blade is about to fall, the robot and the four criminals drop from the ceiling, halting the execution devil. Xiaomei gets an idea and uses the small-time criminal to distract the robot. At that moment, the delivery devil fires an ion cannon from his bike, destroying the robot. The killer is rescued. The delivery devil prepares to hand over the deadly cargo to the client as instructed. But then, an unexpected twist occurs. Everyone's necks are suddenly locked with explosive collars. Each collar has a cat. Yes, an ordinary-looking black cat. But then, the cat starts speaking like a human, shocking everyone further. This cat isn't magical. It's a high-tech robotic animal. The killer's rescue was just phase 1, a test to see if these dangerous criminals were truly capable. The black cat explains that while Xiaomei and the small-time gangster weren't part of the original mission, their performance was so impressive that they're now included in the next tasks. Hearing this, the Destruction King is furious. Being collared like this is an insult to his years of criminal pride. But the black cat cleverly sets an emotional trap. It transfers 1 billion gold coins into his account. This calms the criminals slightly, but when the cat announces phase 2, the reward jumps to 10 billion. Everyone is instantly excited. However, the cat warns that the area is no longer safe, so they must move to a new hideout. Fighting their way through police guards, they reach a bus stop where a flying bus will take them to an old factory. But the bus driver, seeing the pile of police corpses, freezes in fear. The Destruction King loses patience and leaps 50 meters through the air, landing on the flying bus. The hacker says he can control the bus, and soon, everyone boards successfully. Inside the bus, the small-time gangster brags that his sentence is 5 billion years. The Destruction King actually believes him. The lady doctor lights a cigarette, and the killer's red sword goes hyperactive. In his excitement, he presses all the emergency buttons, sending the bus into rocket mode as it hurtles toward a hotel tower at full speed. Xiaomei is shocked because the bloodthirsty killer seems oddly interested in her. After the crash, they land in a VIP suite at the 7-star hotel. The cat finally reveals the second mission: attack the Shinkansen. Xiaomei is stunned again. The Shinkansen is the most secure bullet train system, connecting Kanto and Kansai. Even thinking about attacking it is considered a sin. The train is guarded by high-tech security, and the Destruction King wants to smash through it by force. But they only have 20 minutes when the train stops at the station. A direct fight won't work. Plans are made inside the hotel, but outside, the police have surrounded the area. The chief officer decides to call in a special task force. Ordinary officers dying pointlessly is no use. The cat internally plans that if anyone rejects the mission, their collar will detonate instantly. Hearing this, Xiaomei is terrified. Enter the Heart-Piercing Squad, a master-disciple duo trained exclusively to eliminate highly dangerous criminals. The Destruction King charges at them first, but is instantly knocked back by the disciple's elbow. An intense martial arts fight breaks out. The hacker, seeing the situation, quietly slips away with the sponsor, the black cat. The killer joins the fight, screaming, "You idiot! You idiot! You idiot!" as he attacks the disciple. She pulls out a lightsaber and slices him down. The lady doctor tries to sneak attack from behind, but is slashed and sent flying 10 meters, covered in blood. Everyone is shocked, but the next moment she stands up, completely unharmed. Earlier, the police had tried to kill her, but now they're confused. The small-time gangster flees in fear. A lady officer checks his record and sees his sentence is only 4 years. He's not even fit for this mission. Then, a rock hits her head, and her phone screen shows that Xiaomei's name isn't on the criminal list. Now she realizes either the police data was hacked or something else else is fishy. Meanwhile, the delivery devil is cornered by the master in a secluded spot. Desperate, he shoots the disciple with a gun. The Destruction King re-enters the fight, but the master effortlessly knocks him down. At that moment, the delivery devil's true form, his AI bike, activates, firing a heavy ion blast that surprises the master. Everyone regroups in an old warehouse. The Black Cat finally explains the full plan for the Shinkansen heist. The most crucial step, pressing multiple elevator buttons simultaneously to access the platform. The team divides roles. The hacker, Xiao Mei, Destruction King, and Delivery Devil each take different tasks. Xiao Mei poses as a delivery girl to fool security. The guard is suspicious, but she wins his trust. The hacker erases their visuals from camera footage. Only one step remains: simultaneous elevator activation. As they prepare to press their buttons, an invisible barrier stops them. Time is running out. The team downstairs faces the same issue. The Destruction King mistakes the barrier for a mysterious villain and gets excited. The small-time gangster boasts he'll handle the mystery enemy. Nothing works against the barrier until the gangster tells the Destruction King to use his smart brain. The Destruction King touches a column and says, "I'll show you how it's done." Meanwhile, the killer finds another solution. His brute force cracks the barrier. Xiao Mei encourages him. "If you say so, I'm ready to do anything." The column collapses and the last barrier breaks. Xiao Mei excitedly checks the time, 30 seconds left, but the killer suddenly stops. Xiao Mei panics, running around frantically. Then, she collides with a drone. When Xiao Mei accidentally bumps into the hacker's drone, she grabs it and pitches it like a pro baseball player. The drone lands perfectly, and the elevator doors open. Xiao Mei turns to her team, but they don't seem as excited. Upstairs, the second squad meets the downstairs team. In this moment, a thought strikes Xiao Mei. "I'm just an ordinary person, so why am I helping these criminals?" As the elevator reaches the platform, the criminals finally see the legendary Shinkansen train, the one carrying the precious 10 billion cargo. The moment they're detected, the station goes into alert mode, sirens blare, and the train shifts to emergency mode. It will only stop for 60 seconds. Everything goes off plan. The hacker doesn't have time to override the systems, and anyone trying to force their way in will be instantly lasered. The delivery devil speeds toward the train on his bike, but the critical twist comes when the hacker suggests someone must enter the train as cargo to deactivate the laser shield from inside, and only one person fits the role: Xiao Mei. Xiao Mei hides inside a cargo box, her thermal profile undetected. She makes it inside the train, but the delivery devil's life now literally depends on her. Inside, she searches for the toggle switch to disable the laser shield. She finds it, but it's impossibly heavy. The delivery devil's life is seconds from ending, but then main character magic activates. Xiao Mei summons her last strength and flips the switch. At that moment, the city's power restores, but Kansai Station's security systems reactivate. Guards notice the supposedly invincible Shinkansen has been hijacked by criminals. The train leaves the station, shocking everyone. The chief officer yells at his elite team. So many mistakes? Their mission was to stop the most powerful criminals, yet they keep falling behind. Then, the chief's elite agents, the master-disciple duo of Chu Shin-kei, chase the train. A lightsaber slash hits the rear shield. The villains are stunned. They didn't expect the super cops so soon. The Black Cat immediately commands, "The Destruction King and Killer will handle rear defense. Non-combatants move to the front coach." The Destruction King is excited for a fight, but the killer only thinks of Xiao Mei. He ignores orders. The disciple boards the train and, without hesitation, thrusts a lightsaber that grazes the Destruction King's neck. He barely survives. She tries to chase the attacker, but the Destruction King grabs and throws her at her teammate. The disciple weakens in the fight, so the master steps in. The Destruction King strikes first, but the master counters and grabs his arm. Meanwhile, the hacker unlocks another door, urging teammates to flee. But the delivery devil stays. His bike is left behind. The master kicks the Destruction King through the door. The delivery devil fires his gun to distract the master while the others escape. The lady doctor emerges from debris. Angry, the team threw the enemy at her, but she easily defeats the disciple, knocking her out with anesthesia. The master is intrigued by the doctor. The Destruction King enters rage mode, trying to punch the master into oblivion. The master blocks but is still sent flying. The hacker is busy. Each gate is tougher than the last. Then the train jerks violently. Speed mode activates. Only 5 minutes remain before the train enters the deadly disinfection zone. If the train enters, everyone inside will die. The hacker feels the pressure, but his brain speed activates. The delivery devil and master face off again. When the devil shoots, the bullet accidentally hits an ally. The Destruction King lands a sneak punch, but the master teleports behind him and punches his chest. The iron gate shatters. Xiao Mei runs to check on him. The master chases and attacks Xiao Mei, but the killer blocks him. He announces, "I want a final duel with Chu Shin-kei." The Destruction King rises too. The lady doctor prepares for a final stand. The master revives the disciple. Now it's 2 versus 5. The killer and master engage in an intense sword battle. The killer's slash reaches the master's eye. The hacker breaks the last lock. The train jerks again. It's now irreversibly entering the disinfection zone. There's no turning back. Everyone is devastated. Then, the Black Cat suggests, "Open the cargo locker. Maybe there's something inside that can save us." Meanwhile, a shirtless warrior repeatedly punches the Destruction King, but then the Destruction King headbutts him, nearly breaking his face. The killer slashes, and the Destruction King stabs him in the stomach, but he grabs the sword and collapses. The hacker breaks the final lock. The group reaches the cargo bay. A red beam blocks them. The warrior charges with a lightsaber, stabbing the Destruction King, but the Delivery Devil's ion cannon destroys the weapon. The bike jumps over the obstacle. The hacker uses a remote grabber to pull the king and gangster back. The devil splits the train section with a laser beam. The warrior is finally left behind. A huge hole forms in the car. Wind rushes in. The doctor throws a vial that instantly seals the breach. They reach the cargo vault. The 10 billion treasure is here. The hacker opens the external door, but the internal lock requires a unique key, the Black Cat himself. The cat vanishes into dust, and the key appears in Xiaomei's hand. Only 60 seconds remain before the train enters the disinfection zone's inner chamber. Xiaomei inserts the key and opens the vault. Everyone holds their breath. They think the reward is finally theirs. But as the vault door slowly opens, what they see shocks them. Instead of 10 billion, there are only 2 small children. A brother and sister stand there looking normal, but their extraordinary abilities soon reveal themselves. The brother whistles, and the entire high-speed train stops dead. Xiaomei freezes in shock. The siblings introduce themselves as the masterminds behind these events. They explain the 10 billion assignment was their idea. Their existence is part of a secret project between Kanto and Kansai, which is why the criminals kept escaping the police. The Destruction King loses interest. His only obsession is intense battle. His unfinished fight with Chu Shinkai pulls him back to the battlefield. As he leaves, the siblings say the mission is incomplete. It's only complete when this cargo, the 2 children, are delivered to Kansai. The team reunites. Everyone prepares to return to Kansai, but the hacker stops at the doorway. He says he won't go to Kansai. His ultimate dream was always to reach Kanto, even if it means death. Xiaomei is confused by his decision, but for the hacker, this is his last chance to fulfill his dream. When the brother threatens him with the collar, the hacker easily removes it. It's child's play at his level. As he leaves, he gifts his drone to Xiaomei, a token of trust. Quietly, he parts ways with the team. Meanwhile, the master-disciple duo of Chu Shinkai recover in the hospital. They assume the train entered the disinfect zone and the criminals are dead. But when higher-ups at their headquarters learn not only are they alive, but they've also stolen Kanto's sacred cargo, they order a full military force must hunt them down. After this, high bounty alerts are issued for all outlaws from Kanto and Kansai. Each is worth millions. The disciple drowns in shame. She wants to fight alongside her master again, but when she opens the curtain, she sees the master has already left the hospital. The master confronts the most dangerous criminals alone for one final battle. When the Destruction King sees the master before him, his joy knows no bounds. Now, unburdened by his disciple, the master fights at full strength. 3 punches and 2 kicks send the Destruction King flying. The Delivery Devil, seeing the situation, grabs the siblings and runs, but the master kicks a robot that crashes into the devil. Both fall to the ground. The doctor watches the fight from nearby, but when she looks down, she's shocked. The master has sliced her waist. With calm, cold precision, he eliminates the doctor and targets the small-time gangster next. The gangster, who was running earlier, is found in debris by the Destruction King. His body is heavily injured. The gangster tries to carry him, but the Destruction King refuses. Elsewhere, the Delivery Devil is cornered by the master when a flying knife lands near him. Xiaomei runs with the 2 children, but the killer attacks and crashes into debris right in front of her. The master stands atop rubble and declares, "These 2 children are Kanto's sacred offerings. I must take them back." The killer is still trapped in debris, and Xiaomei isn't fit to fight. As the master attacks her, the killer uses his last strength to grab the master. The master tries to break free, but the killer uses the younger brother as a human shield and reverse stabs. The sword pierces the master's stomach. Xiaomei freezes at the sight, but then they see the brother's chest wound healing at lightning speed. Xiaomei hugs him tightly. Perhaps for the first time, these children have received genuine care, but the emotional moment is shattered by familiar footsteps. The doctor, who was sliced at the waist, is alive again. Now she knows these children are immortal. That's why Kanto wanted them. Xiaomei realizes the doctor has another plan and hides the children behind her. The doctor smartly changes direction. She says she has a plan to defeat the master. The doctor reveals the master is physically powerful, but his old wound has reopened. He can barely stand. She quietly picks up the killer's severed legs. Her intention is to activate another hack. Then, an explosion rocks the area. The Destruction King and Master's final battle begins. The Master delivers a powerful punch to the Destruction King's wound. Blood gushes from his mouth, but his wounds begin healing shockingly fast. The Master realizes the real threat is the doctor. Her regenerative skills and genius brain are the most dangerous things on this battlefield. The Delivery Devil launches another surprise attack. The Master jumps into the air but is slammed to the ground by the Destruction King's punch. The Devil uses this moment to send the team ahead. When the Master tries to stop them, the Destruction King blocks his path again. Now, only 2 remain on the battlefield, the Destruction King and Chu Shinkei's Master. A final 1 versus 1 battle, reserved for real men. The Destruction King lands his trademark punch, sending the Master crashing to the ground. The Master's body can no longer endure this intense intense fight. Blood flows from old wounds, staining his waist red, yet he gathers his strength and rises. Thunder rumbles in the sky and rain pours down. With a lightning bolt, the two warriors lock eyes one last time, and the war resumes. The small-time gangster who could have fled returns. He can't abandon his brother-like Destruction King. The master's disciple, heavily injured, also reaches the battlefield. In the rain, both warriors finally collapse. The Destruction King smiles. He fought the best battle of his life. The disciple rushes to the master's side. He's saying something, but the rain drowns out his words. The master hands him his lightsaber, a teacher's final gift. Then his hands slowly fall. He is at peace. His last rites are performed on the battlefield. The disciple looks at his master's body as rain falls from his own eyes. The small-time gangster, silent until now, approaches the Destruction King's body. This was the man the world never respected, but the Destruction King always called him brother. Now that brother, who never saw sunlight, has lost his life's light. And the small-time gangster, no longer just a 4-year convict, is filled with 500 years worth of rage. He picks up the disciple's discarded lightsaber. He's no longer just a gangster, but an avenger. The other criminals reach an old factory in Kansai, but the younger brother has lost his bag with the coordinates. When the bag is mentioned, Xiaomei remembers the moment when the killer used the brother as a shield. She slaps the killer and demands, "Why did you do that?" The killer simply says, "In that moment, my life was the most important." Xiaomei can't stand it. Is he a hero or a selfish hypocrite? Then, the younger brother finally activates the entrance switch. An elevator structure rises from the ground, the secret place, Expo Park. Meanwhile, the disciple, now blind in one eye, collapses. He lost his master and now his own vision. But the criminals are happy. Their 10 billion mission is almost complete. The small-time gangster arrives proudly. "I defeated the disciple." Xiaomei notices blood on his clothes. "Are you hurt?" she asks. The gangster lies with a fake smile, but then he admits the truth. The Destruction King, he's dead. Everyone freezes in shock, but the younger brother coldly says, "Death and injuries are part of missions. Get on the elevator." The gangster's anger flares again. He wants to strangle the brother, but everyone calms him down. In the elevator, he apologizes and returns the brother's precious item, a white cloth pouch. Descending, they finally see the true face of Expo Park, an old futuristic city hiding ancient tech and science. Then, the younger brother reveals their final goal, the rocket hidden in this city. These two children cannot die or age. Their plan? Escape Earth and settle on the moon. Because behind them aren't just rewards, but 5,000 other test subject children's corpses. The younger brother isn't human. He's a human experiment, code 2502. He had 2,500 brothers, all taken to a sports stadium daily for experiments. Every day, they endured physical torture, their bodies destroyed, only to recover through self-healing. Sometimes their hands were cut off, sometimes their heads crushed, sometimes their heads were removed entirely. The pain was beyond comprehension, yet he endured. His brothers made small gifts from cloth scraps, saying, "Don't wear this around your neck. Your head falls off every day." They begged the AI scientist, the Black Cat, to stop the experiments, but it was just an AI with no authority, and no one dared speak against the headmaster. Everyone stayed silent. Then one day, the AI scientist thought differently. The younger brother, tortured daily, escapes the lab one day, but when he reaches the sports stadium where his 2,500 brothers were kept, it's empty. Then, the headmaster appears. He congratulates him. "You're the first to graduate." Then, he reveals the truth. These experiments aim to develop an immortality formula. In these futuristic genetic pools, human DNA was being transformed to prevent death or aging, and the younger brother, code 2502, was the genetically fused result of those 2,500 subjects. He was a new human. The pool beneath his feet, the stadium brothers, all were experimental material. The headmaster says the next step is creating another immortal. Then, code 5557, the younger sister, is born. The brother pours all his brother's pain and emotions into her. Now, they only have each other, but peace doesn't last. The headmaster says they'll be sent as a gift to Kanto. They're locked inside the Shinkansen vault. The AI scientist, the Black Cat, sympathizes with them. Secretly, it gives them high-tech tools and sets an escape route. But when the AI superiors discover this, they remotely erase the Black Cat. The brother creates a virtual Black Cat from his magic hat in its memory, and that cat hires the criminals for the 10 billion reward mission. Now that their work is complete, the brother gives each criminal their 10 billion. The mission is officially over. He activates the rocket. In 3 minutes, he and his sister will head to the moon. Xiaomei tearfully bids them farewell, truly wishing these poor children could find a better life. Then, a sharp needle pierces the sister's neck, and she collapses down the stairs. The attacker? The doctor, the dangerous criminal. She grabs the brother. The sister has self-healing, but the doctor immediately attacks Xiaomei. The killer arrives in time and stops the doctor. But then, the Chu Shinkei commander surrounds the entire team with his squad. The doctor betrayed them, pretending friendship while secretly siding with the commander. She tried to impress the commander by capturing the brother, to have her name removed from the most wanted list. The brother fights back, but the commander reveals a shocking truth. Your rocket's destination, the moon, no longer exists. The moon was destroyed in the Kanto-Kansai War long ago. Now, it's just a hologram. The commander announces all criminals are sentenced to death, and in 10 tense battle erupts between the execution team and the villains. Everyone assumed each Chu Shinkai member was at the master's level, but the killer puts them in 1/1 kill mode. Then, the brother activates his hat. A white flash envelops the sister and Xiao Mei, placing them inside the rocket. But he stays behind, captured by the police. His plan? If he isn't human, the rocket's survival chance belongs only to the sister and Xiao Mei. The rocket launches, but within seconds, the fuel runs out. The rocket begins falling back to Earth. Xiao Mei panics and activates the emergency escape lever. The pod detaches. She wakes up in a dirty sewage dump, alive. Then, she remembers the sister. Returning to the crash pod, she finds the sister pinned under a rock, covered in blood. Xiao Mei thinks she's dead, but then, the sister spits, opens her eyes. Her body enters rapid healing mode. The sister's wounds heal. The two realize the moon is no longer an option, so they head toward the city for a new shelter. They grab food from a corner store, but the entire city has declared Xiao Mei an S-rank criminal. The store owner yells and a crowd gathers. Then, Xiao Mei sees her wanted poster on a billboard. In one day, she's gone from ordinary girl to most wanted. The mob prepares to kill her. She grabs the sister's hand and flees. They hide in an old building. In a kitchen-like area, they find canned food. Xiao Mei changes clothes, cuts her hair, and vows in her heart, "I won't let anything happen to you." The sister is emotional, remembering her brother. Xiao Mei hugs her. Then, footsteps approach. 3 men enter the room, underground criminals who traffic girls and organs. The sister is a high-value target to them. They deem Xiao Mei worthless and move to eliminate her. Xiao Mei enters rage mode. Grabbing a canned food tin, she smashes one man's skull. The other 2 react, but Xiao Mei cleverly distracts them by offering herself, then stabs one with a knife. The glasses-wearing man fires his gun, but misses. Xiao Mei picks it up and blows his head off. Then, the third thug, stabbed earlier, rises to attack. Xiao Mei is out of ammo, so she shields the sister with her body. But the delivery devil arrives just in time, saving them both. The scene shifts to a lab, where the doctor laughs creepily while reviewing experimental records. She's uncovered the secret of the brother's immortal DNA. His cells can divide infinitely. Another doctor, running late, drops his tea in shock. All his colleagues are already dead. This new doctor, an avatar of a new devil, declares, "Whether it's surgery or murder, both give me the same pleasure." The doctor wipes blood from her face and steps out of the laboratory with a calm smile, as if everything is under her control. Meanwhile, the small-time gangster hides in a corner, evading the police. One thought consumes him. If the Destruction King were alive, I wouldn't be hiding like this. Suddenly, a man appears. The gangster flinches in fear. The man says, "I have something that might ease your pain." He takes the gangster to a bar, where, shockingly, he meets the doctor. With a cold smile, she informs him there's now a 100 million bounty on his head. Then, goons grab the gangster. He screams, "Please help me!" But the doctor remains cold. She doesn't care if he lives or dies. In desperation, the gangster says, "I know the children's location." Now the doctor is interested. The gangster reveals he planted a tracker in the brother's amulet. He planned to sell this data to Chu Shinkai to punish the boy for speaking against the Destruction King. After his job is done, the gangster tries to flee, but the doctor delivers a brutal kick to his groin, making him her unwilling accomplice. But neither knows the brother's amulet is now with the delivery devil. The gangster wakes up in a luxury hotel bed. A beautiful woman quietly dresses nearby. This woman is none other than the doctor, a 432-year sentenced supercriminal with full control over life-saving and gender-transforming surgeries. The gangster thinks he's hit the jackpot, but the doctor's words shatter his pride. Outside, excited voices fill the streets. Civilians now believe they have the right to punish criminals themselves. The Chu Shinkai commander is worried. Reports say civilians are taking justice into their own hands. If all criminals are painted with the same brush, society will collapse. And the starting point of this citywide mayhem, a fraudster's random message, "I'll gather all criminals in Kansai within 12 hours. Meanwhile, the killer is busy with civilian killings, fueling the crowd's fear. Police HQ is in panic. The chief nearly breaks down. A mob demands all criminals be executed immediately. But then, a shocking report arrives. The fraudster and his team have infiltrated Chu Shinkai's main HQ. The killer, whose love has turned to obsession, has a unique ability. He sees an angelic halo above his loved ones' heads, allowing him to track their location. But he mistook his love for a lust to kill. So, he slaughtered all Chu Shinkai officers as a gift for the fraudster. The delivery devil fires at him, but misses. Enraged, the killer chokes the devil. Xiao Mei arrives in time and shoves the killer away. She stands before him, and he slams her down, blood pooling around them. The killer's madness peaks when Xiao Mei says, "I'm ready to die, but I won't let you win." The killer is confused. In that moment, Xiao Mei strikes suddenly, breaks free, and runs. She checks the timer. She must reach the rooftop to rescue the brother. The killer chases, but his injured leg slows him. Xiao Mei hides in a toilet. Outside, the killer searches. He detects her exact location by her red halo. Xiao Mei fights with a water pouch, breaks the door, and runs. Tripping, a drone reaches the doorway. It's a weapons locker, Chu Shinkai's. The killer traces her location. He punches the iron door, trying to break it. But this is a high-security vault. The killer emotionally blackmails tells her, "I won't do anything. Please open the door." Xiaomei falls for his sweet words. The door slowly opens, and the killer reveals his true self. But this time, Xiaomei is ready. She jumps up and shoots an arrow into his thigh. Then, grabbing a lightsaber, she severs his arm. The killer still doesn't stop. Pain means nothing to him. Xiaomei hides a final sword near her heart, and when the killer's red halo vanishes, she pierces his heart. The killer is shocked. His prey has become the hunter. Xiaomei leaves the room. The delivery devil arrives. They reach the rooftop. Chu Shin-Kei agents are taking the brother away. Meanwhile, the doctor, now in full madness, kills an entire aircraft's passengers to hijack it. Her target, the immortal boy. In the helicopter, Chu Shin-Kei's disciple and agent take the brother to Kansai Station. Then, horrifying news crackles over the radio. The entire city has descended into civil war. Citizens have begun full-scale vigilante justice, demanding all criminals be executed immediately. The mob storms the police station. Sparks fly as they break in. The police chief panics, but the Chu Shin-Kei commander has a plan. Declare all protesters criminals. Then we can kill them too. The Chu Shin-Kei commander prepares to execute his brutal plan. He declares all protesters are now criminals. This decision marks the start of a totalitarian nightmare. Now, the police have no limits. They can openly kill civilians by labeling them criminals. Meanwhile, Xiaomei and her allies are still chasing the immortal boy. They reach a bridge, but angry citizens block their path. They demand identification, but a police robot scans their biometrics and reveals their criminal records. Then, a bullet tears through a civilian's hand, shockingly, fired by the police robot itself. Now, every protester in the city is declared a criminal, meaning death sentence. The Chu Shin-Kei commander steps out of his office, satisfied. At police HQ, people break in. The public now demands all criminals be executed immediately. The commander says, execute them all, and the order for genocide is given. The immortal boy is taken to Kansai Station's elevator to be sent to Kanto. The delivery devil and team arrive, but they're too late. The boy enters the elevator, and the Shinkansen awaits on the platform. Its neon glow lights up the city, but within this light lies not hope but slaughter. In every corner, Chu Shin-Kei soldiers kill civilians. The city's people, helpless, look to the Shinkansen with a faint hope. Perhaps this train can save them from hell. The delivery devil climbs the elevator shaft. The master sees him and activates a teleportation device. The boy is sent into the Shinkansen. Xiaomei and the sister run to stop him, but then others enter the scene. Xiaomei recognizes her. The doctor has returned. In her hand is the same surgical knife, and this time she has a secret weapon, the tracker. The tracker, the small-time gangster planted in the brother's amulet. The gangster betrayed the doctor. The master's disciple is controlled by the doctor's needle. If he moves, he dies. The scene freezes. Everyone is under the doctor's control in some way. Xiaomei knows she must act. She activates the fraudster's tongue, a battle of words. The gangster becomes emotionally unstable. His guilt, mixed with memories of the Destruction King, changes him. He finally drops the knife. But the doctor won't tolerate betrayal. She reveals a chilling truth. The Destruction King was her chemical trap's victim. His death wasn't a satisfying fight, but a calculated execution. This breaks the gangster's heart. But then, a massive civilian mob storms the station. In the crowd, the doctor falls. The gangster stabs her artery. As she dies, she slits his throat. The gangster falls, but he's avenged his brother. The civilian mob rushes the Shinkansen. The train doors miraculously open. People stampede inside. The doctor tries to survive, patching her wounds, but the mob tramples her. Those who crush others are eventually crushed themselves. The delivery devil, Xiaomei, and the sister board the train in time. The Shinkansen departs for Kanto. What if there was a parallel world? Would you off bed, ignoring her boss's calls? But the world has no room for words like what if. Then, the hacker's drone emerges from her backpack. A reality check. This wasn't a dream. The delivery devil is also in a nightmare. He remembers the rainy night when he was young, working with his mother. The day he picked up a coin was his first assignment fail, his mother's death. The scene cuts. They're back on the path of that memory. But this time, the coin, that cursed token, shatters the entire illusion. Yes, this was all a virtual trap. Kanto created an advanced simulation world where people live in a happy illusion. Without the hacker's drone, Xiaomei and the delivery devil would never have realized the truth. A message from the drone arrives. Only data can fight data. The hacker's plan is clear. He's entered Kanto's digital core in spirit form. To reach Kanto via the Shinkansen, there's a phase, the disinfection zone. Here, human bodies and spirits separate. Only spirits can enter Kanto. Xiaomei glimpses Kanto is nothing but a floating ruin, a futuristic machine constantly shape-shifting. And inside this machine lies Kanto's truth. Inside, all people have abandoned their bodies, uploading their spirits as data. But now, their server is failing. They need new immortal vessels, and the brother-sister, these immortal bodies, are perfect hosts. When the disk turns fully white, their souls will be wiped. Xiaomei leaps with a scream to save the siblings, but the machine's barrier shoves her back. She's falling toward a metal pipe when the hacker's drone saves her. There's no other way. The hacker decides he'll enter the data world in spirit form. His digital self breaches Kanto's core. Firewalls attack. The hacker struggles against Kanto's data core firewall attacks. One blast destroys his data arm. His physical body dissolved long ago. If his spirit dies here, his existence is erased forever. But then he sees the siblings. With pure force, he tries breaking through the firewall. His data body shreds, yet he smiles. His entire life, he only wanted one thing: ultimate thrill. And now, he's nearing his end in a meaningful climax. Just as he's about to reach the siblings, another firewall blast throws him back. Meanwhile, the siblings drown in a whirlpool of digital entities. Then, a miracle happens. The ordinary-looking charm with them glows brightly. From it bursts the souls of 5,000+ children, those who died in laboratory experiments. Their message: you too must live. Live for us. These two children are no longer empty vessels. Now they have self-awareness, consciousness. Xiao Mei damages the system from outside. When her hand reaches the siblings, the machine begins collapsing. And when their hands meet, that's the moment Kanto's machine admits defeat. With the siblings safe, everyone remembers the hacker is still inside. The delivery devil understands the hacker's sacrifice, but says nothing. He respects his choice. The hacker's last lie: I'm fine, I'll come back. But everyone knows he won't. He left an emergency protocol in the system to ensure Kanto's energy fails at the last moment. And it does. As everyone returns to Kansai on the Shinkansen, Chu Xin-ke plans to destroy the train midair with an aircraft. A woman escapes the crash site, and Commander Jing Yuan stands before her. He recognizes her, the fraudster whose single message sparked Kansai's revolt. The fraudster performs one final fake act. The commander, thinking it's a bluff, angrily pierces her heart with his lightsaber. The fraudster falls. But to the people, her image is now that of a martyr. Her lie was the truest of all. Snow falls over the city. Xiao Mei closes her eyes and smiles, as if everything feels right. A police drone finally locates the delivery devil, now alone, injured, and surrounded. Jing Yuan demands, "Give us the siblings." The delivery devil has no options left. No allies, no support. Then, a little girl steps from a corner. Police stop her, but she screams, "You killed my parents." Suddenly, a bright flare lights the sky. The civilians have rebelled. Mobile phones loop the visuals. The fraudster's death live-streamed. Jing Yuan orders all protesters declared criminals again. But this time, the police chief's mind snaps. He commits suicide. In that moment, the delivery devil escapes with the siblings. Activating his bike's cannon, he destroys the police tower. After escaping, he's badly injured. Seeing blood on the brother's hand, he feels this is his final moment. He gives the brother a coin, 500 yuan, his last delivery, paid for by the fraudster to keep them safe. As an aircraft pursues them, the delivery devil makes his decision: I'll stay here. Sending the siblings down an escape path, he charges toward the plane with his cannon. His first blast causes some damage, but part of the cannon is damaged too. Then, the biggest miracle happens. The hacker's final program shuts down Kansai's entire power grid. The city plunges into blackout. The aircraft's targeting system crashes. The delivery devil fires one last blast, and the aircraft crashes. The children are safe, but his own life? The siblings, with Xiaomi, head toward a new city. The hacker, delivery devil, and fraudster all gave their lives for their safe future. The children are finally safe, and the Destruction King's last ally, the delivery devil, collapses after his final blow. His body is exhausted, his energy spent, but as the first sunlight touches his face, a faint smile graces his lips. Before his eyes is only one image: two children for whom he gave everything, now alive. That morning, as always, the sun rises. But today, its light isn't for others. It's for those children torn from childhood, whose story is now a new journey's beginning. The delivery devil's face bears that same peaceful, devoted smile. No complaints, only contentment. The siblings finally reach the gates of Shikoku after a long journey. The place that was once a dream of freedom is now their new home. And with this scene, the anime ends. If you liked it, please like the video and subscribe to the channel.